So we just looked at how to make a regular box where the lid and base are two separate pieces. What we're going to progress on to here is exactly the same size box, but making it from one complete sheet of card so that you get what I call a pizza style box, where you've got the lid and the base are all connected into one. And we're going to use the same principles of making the lid slightly larger than the base, but we're going to do it on one full sheet of cardstock. Now, when we talked about box making, in the previous clip, we looked at using the box making facilities on the inside of the Ultimate, which are these ones here. What we have is an additional plate that you can buy if you're wanting to do more advanced box making, which is called the Boxer Board. And what that is it's exactly the same sort of principle. You've got one set of lines here, but then you've got the other set of lines, your box base run from the previous edge, but you've got much more accurate measurements, so it can go right down to 1/8 of an inch. Or if you prefer to work in centimetres, when we flip it over, you've got the same in centimetres, right down to 1/2 centimetre measurements on the other side. So that just clips into place over top of the card making section of your board. And you can see, if you want a true measurement or your box lid, you rest against the handle and read along the top here. If you want your box base, you rest against the side where the hinges are and work backwards. Okay? So if I turn this round to face me, what I'm going to do is we're going to first of all start with a large sheet of card and score in the centre so that we get the very central point here. Then we're going to score the top half on box lid and the bottom half on box base. Okay? So to do a 6x6 box, what you need is, you would normally have 2 pieces of 8x8 card, but because we're sharing one side, you actually lose an inch for that. So we need 8 inches by 15 inches this time. Okay? And on the box base side, what we do first of all is put our inch, because it's an inch deep, right up the centre. So we rest up against the hinges, and you need to score at 7 inches and also at 8 inches, which is right just near the end here. Or you can just turn it round and I can do it just on my right hand there, a little bit easier. Okay, so we've got a set of tram lines, I call them, right in the centre that are 1 inch wide. So what we're going to do is first of all do our box base. So we start at the bottom and we score in 1 inch. So we do the inch here, turn it right around, and we're going to score the inch. So we score it 1 inch right up to the second score line, and we turn it right around. Now if we want to score 1 inch again, it's important that you don't think, oh, I'll just come 1 inch in here. You need to look at where the inch mark is, which is the 1 inch here. Take your tool up to the top, put your cardstock in, and then come backwards, because the inches on the top don't correlate with the full inches on the bottom, and that's on purpose. Okay, so we've scored the box base as a regular box base. For the lid, we're going to do exactly the same. I'm going to score 1 inch here, turn it round, score the inch, not quite come all the way down. We're coming to the first line this time, and then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to work out where my inch is, put it up here and do the inch. Now I don't know if the camera can catch this, but can you see just right here? Because what you'll see is you've got this line comes along from your lid, then it jumps up a little bit and then continues for the base. And that's because this is your true measurement at 1 inch. This is the inch plus a little bit, which is making our base a little bit smaller. So we've done all of the complex scoring on there. The first thing we do is, where you've got those lines, the jumps in the lines, just cut straight up to that jump on both sides, okay? Then think of this now as 2 separate boxes. So we're going to do the base. So we're just going to do, as we've done before, you're cutting up the centre of the score line, cutting out a small sliver. The same on all 4 sides. And we'll obviously have to cut the sliver from this side here. Okay, so that's our base. Then the same for the lid, we're going to cut into and a little sliver from the sides. Then we're going to burnish all these crease lines. So again, always folding away from yourself. And I'm just creasing each one of these with the side of the tool. So if we start off by assembling the base, so we're going to do the same as before. We're just going to put tape on the corners, or you could use a wet glue. And I'll also put tape on the 2 bits for the lid that we're going to do next. So for these corners we're going in, just a little bit fiddly here. Remember to line up that finger into the corner. The same here, lining up that corner to get that nice 90-degree angle on all sides. Same with our 2 pieces at the front. And then this is our lid. And then you'll see, just as it does with the separate box, the lid fits perfectly over the base. And again, if you wanted to do any fancy cutting like what we've done on this one, before you do any of the assembly, but after you've done the scoring, you could just sit in, you create a card die there, for example, cut it through, or do any adjustments to the lid and the base. And that is the basic principle behind how you do a pizza style box.